I'm excited for the Raptors' upcoming season. It's been a quiet offseason for the team since they did their heavy lifting during last season, but nonetheless, the Raptors set up their foundation moving forward. They had what I felt was a solid draft. They locked up two pieces of their young core, Barnes signing a 5-year maximum rookie extension worth up to $270 million, and Emmanuel Quickley signing a 5-year contract with the team worth $175 million. The Raptors let Gary Trent Jr. walk, which will now give Grady Dick a bigger role for his sophomore season. And all in all, I'm just interested to see how the season is going to go. In this one, I'm going to be talking about the Raptors and their upcoming 2024-2025 season. So if y'all can do me a solid favor, please hit a like on the video. It does help a ton. And also, please subscribe to the channel for more Raptors content just like this. And shout out to today's video sponsor, BetUS. So we're going to find a whole lot about this Raptors season out of the gate. The Raptors are going to get off to an extremely tough start to their season. Their first 17 games will be absolutely insane. The Raptors are going to be favorites in only probably 2 of these games, Detroit and Charlotte. So we're literally going to know the theme of this Raptors season after the first 17. It's either going to be sack for flag or this is the surprise team for this season. I know there's a lot of talk about this upcoming draft and how it's stacked. And remember, the Raptors will have their pick intact for the 2025 NBA draft after they paid up to the San Antonio Spurs in the 2024 draft. But I don't think the Raptors are simply going to tank. Let's say this team is healthy. Firstly, it's going to be great to see what the core 3 can do together over the course of a whole season. Scottie Barnes is coming off a massive third year. He averaged 19.9 points, 8.2 rebounds, 6 assists on 47.5% shooting from the field and 34.1% shooting from deep. Can Barnes see another jump to his game this season? We haven't seen him play since March 1st, as this is going to be his team for the foreseeable future. The Raptors giving him that huge deal, which makes Barnes the highest paid player in Raptors history, means they're all in on Barnes. Now it's up to Barnes to prove that he's one of the league's top players. You look at RJ Barrett, he's coming off a very solid Olympic run for Team Canada. It looks like he has found his home for the long term with the Raptors. The 24-year-old averaged career highs across the board with the Raptors in 32 games. And is this the year where RJ can put it all together consistently and truly break out? Then you got Emmanuel Quickley. This will be his first full season as a starter, and going back to his contract, many people felt it was an overpay, but I think it might end up looking like a bargain. When you look at Emmanuel Quickley, the Raptors paid him based on his potential. He's 25 years old, and in 38 games with the team, he proved that he's the franchise's next point guard, and he showed us a lot of good things. I'm actually really high on Quickley. I don't think it's crazy to think that he can blossom and be a borderline, dare I even say it, all-star type point guard one day, hot take or not, but I think he's got it in him, and this season will be critical for Quickley. First year after signing that big contract, can Quickley take that big leap as a full-time starter? This is a solid trio for the Raptors and one of the more exciting young trios in the game. Their development and growth will basically dictate this team's ceiling and the success they're capable of obtaining for this season. Then you got the youngsters. Grady Dick, I believe he's going to start for this team. He'll be slated in as that 5th starter. He and Jacoby Walter will get plenty of opportunities this season, and I think the biggest thing for Dick will be his consistency and proving that he can be more than just a one-dimensional player. We've seen a bit of that, a little bit of the flash that he's shown us. You know, he's been able to put the ball on the deck, cut well, even play make a little bit. I'm not sold on Dick just yet being the long-term starting shooting guard for this team, but this is going to be a big chance for him to prove himself. For Jacoby, I think for him, you know, can he live up to that 3-and-D type of potential? And can he give the Raptors a real offensive spark plug from off the bench? Can he be consistent with his shooting and really give the Raptors a scoring punch? And then you look at the Raptors depth chart, you're going to be looking at starters, obviously Emmanuel Quickley, Grady Dick, who I slayed in, RJ Barrett, Scottie Barnes, Jakob Poeltl, Davion Mitchell from off the bench. I think he's going to be a huge piece for this team. He didn't get much playing time in Sacramento, but he will here. His tenacity on defense is going to set the tone for that second unit. You're going to have Walter, Bruce Brown, who's going to get playing time. He's going to be a trade chip going into the deadline. Abaji, can he salvage himself? It's not looking good for him right now, but can he turn it around? And then you got Olynyk. And then you're going to have the youngsters. You know, Jamal Shed showed us a lot of good things in Summer League. Mobo, he plays with a lot of effort and energy. Can he be that point forward type of player? Then you got the hidden gem in Chomchi, who figures to spend a lot of time in 905, but he's an exciting prospect for this team. So the Raptors, they will have trade pieces such as Brown, Boucher, and Poeltl if the season does get ugly. And that will be the key, I think. If the Raptors are going to be competitive this season, the health of Pirtle will be a big reason why. The Raptors were 4-28 without him last season. So the Raptors are a much better team with Jakob Pirtle. And if he stays healthy, it will give the Raptors the best chance to win for right now. So how many games will this team win? Well, guys, if you actually look, BetUS, they have the Raptors over-under line set at 29.5. I'm smashing the over. I think the Raptors do win over 30 games. I think they will be a better team. Guys, you could check out BetUS. You can use them for the season. I've been using them for a very long time, and they are an awesome sports book. They're currently offering a 125% bonus on your first 3 deposits up to $2,000. They got the fastest payouts in the industry. Go check out BetUS, proud sponsor of this channel. So we should know where the Raptors stand relatively quick. Like I said, that opener to their season is going to dictate how the season's going to go ultimately. But if this team is able to survive that early gauntlet, they're healthy, I think the Raptors land in the play-in. Right now, I have the Hawks and the Raptors as my 9th and 10th seeds in the East respectively. And you look at the bottom of the East, it's pretty darn bad. And I think by default, the Raptors will be in a position where they could get into the play-in and definitely end up with a play-in spot. I mean, the Bulls, who finished 9th last season, they're clearly tanking. They're going to drop. The Nets, they blew it up even more. They're going to drop. Then you got the Wizards. I don't expect them to be any good this season. They're going to be at the bottom. The Pistons, I mean, they're always expected to take that jump. I did a separate video on them. I am a bit higher on them than many other people, but they're still the Pistons. They got to prove it to you. And then the Hornets, they could also be a little bit of a sleeper team in regards to a young team taking that next step. But really, I think the Raptors are better than those teams. So that would give the Raptors a position with the Hawks as one of those, 9th or 10th seeds in the East, because I think the top 8 are locked in right now. Basically, the top 8 from last season. It's interchangeable, but I think those are going to be the top 8 teams. But when you look at the Raptors, there's obviously this ongoing debate amongst the fans of people wanting them to tank this season for a generational 2025 NBA draft. And then there's people who want to see them be competitive. What do you think the Raptors are going to ultimately do? Do you think they're going to tank? Do you think they're going to be competitive? Do you think they're going to be the season surprise team? It's going to come down to that trio. Scotty Barnes, Quickly, Barrett. I think that's the fascinating part about the season, seeing those 3 players play over the course of a long season. They were going to have an entire offseason together, training camp. And then can we see some of these young players blossom and bloom? Grady Dick, Jacoby Walter. So there are going to be a lot of things to look out for. I think this is going to be a much more compelling season than a year ago. Let me know what your expectations are for the season, guys. Where do you think the Raptors rank? I do think this team is a lot better right now than most people think. And I think just given the pieces that they have going into this season, they will be a play-in team. Let me know your thoughts, guys. Drop a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you are new, and shout out to today's video sponsor, BetUS. I will catch you all again in the next one.